Advocates in BC and abroad are decrying a new so-called security law in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong government says it will protect the territory, but as Liam Britton is finding out, critics say it is an affront to human rights and freedom.
Edmund Wan, better known as Giggs, spent about a year in prison in Hong Kong on charges of sedition and money laundering for his support of Hong Kong exiles. But under new rules, it could have been much longer.
I'm damn sure that I will be put in prison for at least 2 to 3 years.
He's a refugee in Canada now, living in the Lower Mainland. And like many in the exile community, he's decrying Article 23, which he says has Hong Kongers afraid to speak out.
This is the darkest age of Hong Kong I've ever seen.
The Article 23 national security law passed in Hong Kong's legislature unanimously after being unveiled less than 2 weeks ago. The territory's chief executive, John Lee, appealed for it to be passed at full speed, and starting Saturday, it will be in force, threatening harsh new penalties to quash opposition to the territory's government, including tougher punishments for breaking the so-called sedition law, which critics say is a tool used to crack down on voices for democracy. They now face up to 7 years in prison for seditious acts and words, up from 2. Failing to report treason by others could lead to 14 years in prison. Giggs says no one is sure what will define those offenses.
Only the Hong Kong government, under the Chinese Communist Party, has the only interpretation on what is treason, what is sedition, what is insurrection, or what is espionage.
The Hong Kong government says Article 23 is necessary, but Amnesty International calls it a devastating moment for human rights. Human Rights Watch terms it a full-scale assault on rights, suppressing basic freedoms. Reporters Without Borders warns journalists should fear the law, calling it an extension of rules against press freedom defenders. The government can even punish acts committed anywhere in the world, not just in Hong Kong. Even here in Vancouver, those who fled the territory may face financial sanctions. This advocate for Hong Kong democracy says with so many people in Canada striving to maintain family or professional ties to Hong Kong, the law is chilling opposition here.
We have volunteers been up and say, I'm sorry, after the Article 23, I can't help you anymore. It's so sad, right? That you can't really, in a free country, to do whatever you want.
Now, we asked via email for comment from China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, their Canadian Embassy, and even the Vancouver Consulate right here. We didn't hear back. Global Affairs Canada is expressing, quote, deep concern about Article 23. Pro-democracy activists like Tung plan to protest here at the consulate and at the Vancouver Art Gallery on Saturday, the day this new law goes into effect. Liam Britton, CBC News, Vancouver.
And an update to that story. Just moments ago, the Chinese Embassy in Canada did respond to our request for comment. In part, it says, we strongly deplore and firmly oppose individual countries and organizations slandering the Safeguarding National Security Bill of Hong Kong.